guy who's just turning 19 today, in fact, and Anthony Bennett off the dribble with a long deuce.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our detailed NBA breakdowns. Today, we're diving into a tough but very real conversation. For young NBA players, it's officially time to give up on. These are athletes who enter the league with massive hype, lottery pick status, jaw-dropping highlight reels, and seemingly unlimited potential to dominate the game. But for different reasons, they've ultimately fallen short of expectations. Now, we're not saying they can't still have respectable careers in the NBA, but the superstar, or even star level, potential we once envisioned for them is fading away quickly. Let's break it down player by player and examine why their journeys simply haven't panned out as originally hoped. First up is Anthony Bennett, the infamous #1 overall pick in the 2013 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Technically, Bennett isn't exactly young anymore at age 32, but his story stands as a timeless example of a hyped-up prospect who never managed to find his footing, and it's worth revisiting as a cautionary tale for fans and franchises alike. Coming out of UNLV, Bennett was viewed as a versatile, athletic forward with a smooth shooting stroke and the potential to be a modern stretch four in a league that was just starting to embrace that style. The Cavaliers genuinely believed they were drafting a future cornerstone piece to pair with Kyrie Irving during their difficult post-LeBron rebuild. Spoiler alert, it was nothing short of a disaster. Bennett's rookie season was an absolute nightmare. He averaged a disappointing 4.2 points and 3 rebounds per game, shooting a dreadful 35.6% from the field, and even worse 24.5% from three-point range. His athleticism, which was supposed to be his biggest strength, didn't translate to NBA-level defense, and he frequently looked lost on both ends of the floor. By his second season, he was shipped off to Minnesota as part of the Kevin Love trade, and his numbers barely improved. Just 4.1 points and 3.8 rebounds on slightly better, but still very poor shooting splits. After short stints with Toronto and Brooklyn, Bennett was completely out of the NBA by 2017. Only 4 years after being selected as the top pick. What exactly went wrong? For starters, Bennett seemed unprepared for the NBA's relentless speed and physicality. His conditioning and work ethic were questioned from the very beginning, and he never developed the basketball IQ required to carve out even a consistent role. Although he's had opportunities to reinvent himself in the G League and overseas, including stretches in Turkey and Israel, he never showed the growth or consistency necessary to earn another NBA contract. At this point, his name is synonymous with bust rather than untapped potential. The dream of Anthony Bennett becoming a star, or even a reliable role player, is long gone. It's a harsh reality, but his story serves as a reminder that being drafted #1 overall does not and never will.
Grizzlies will play in the 7-8 play-in game. That will be Tuesday. Lob for Bagley off the setup by Vince Williams Jr.
Next, let's talk about Marvin Bagley III, the second overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft by the Sacramento Kings. This one really hurts, because Bagley appeared to have all the tools necessary to become a modern, dominant big man. At Duke, he was an absolute double-double machine, averaging 21 points and 11.1 rebounds per game while showcasing explosive athleticism, soft touch around the rim, and even a developing outside jumper. The Kings famously took him ahead of Luka Doncic and Trae Young, a decision that still haunts their fan base to this very day. But let's focus on Bagley himself and why his career simply hasn't taken off. Bagley's biggest obstacles have always been injuries and inconsistency. In his first 4 seasons, he played only 154 games out of possible 328 due to a long list of setbacks, knee issues, ankle sprains, back problems, you name it. When healthy, he occasionally showed flashes of brilliance. As a rookie, he averaged 14.9 points and 7.6 rebounds with highlight reel dunks that reminded everyone why he was drafted so high. But unfortunately, his game never developed beyond those occasional flashes of potential. Defensively, Bagley remains a glaring liability. He's often exposed in pick-and-roll coverages and doesn't possess the instincts required to be an effective rim protector. His outside shooting, which scouts once rejected as a potential strength, has been wildly inconsistent. He's a career 31.3% shooter from three on low volume, and that's simply not enough for today's NBA big men. After being traded to Detroit in 2022, there was some hope he could revive his career in a fresh environment. He had a solid 2022-23 season, averaging 12 points and 6.4 rebounds, but nothing about his game screamed franchise cornerstone. Now, with the Washington Wizards, Bagley continues to struggle to find consistent role on a rebuilding team searching for direction. At 26 years old, Bagley technically still has time to carve out a niche as a valuable rotation player, but the all-star ceiling once projected for him, that dream is fading quickly. The modern NBA demands versatility from big men, shooting, switching, rim protection, and Bagley hasn't proven he can consistently deliver on any of those fronts. It's tough to admit, but the window for him to become a star is closing faster than ever.
He's fried thus far. Right-handed jump hook.
Jahlil Okafor came out of Duke as a true throwback big man, a low-post scoring machine with polished footwork, soft hands, and an impressive knack for finishing through contact. In an era where the NBA was rapidly shifting toward pace and space offenses, some believe this old-school game could still thrive and provide value. His rookie season, to be fair, wasn't terrible. He averaged 17.5 points and 7 rebounds per game, while shooting a solid 50.8% from the field. But even then, the cracks in his game were starting to show. Okafor's biggest weakness was, and always has been, defense, or rather, the complete lack of it. He was basically a death sentence in today's modern NBA. Offensively, his lack of shooting range also proved to be a serious limitation. He clogged the paint far too often, which didn't mesh well with Philadelphia's long-term plan centered around Joel Embiid. By his second season, Okafor had already been relegated to the bench, and by year 3, he was shipped off to Brooklyn. From there, his career became a cycle of short opportunities. He bounced around with New Orleans, Detroit, and multiple G League teams, while also having brief stints overseas in China and Mexico. His last NBA action came during the 2020-21 season, and now, at 29 years old, he's still desperately trying to claw his way back into the league. So, why give up on Okafor? The NBA has simply evolved beyond traditional, non-shooting big men who can't defend at a high level. His offensive skills remain undeniable, but they're extremely one-dimensional, and he hasn't shown the ability to adapt to the demands of the modern game. He's had multiple chances to prove he can stick as even reliable rotation player, but the results just haven't been there. Today's NBA teams prioritize versatility above all else, and Okafor's skill set feels like a relic from a bygone era. It's a tough pill to swallow, but unless he dramatically reinvents himself, Jahlil Okafor's NBA career is almost certainly over.
Sharp, defended by Hartenstein. Hayes, lob it up. Sharp, throw it down. What a way to open.
LeBron admitted he was nervous as hell at first, and who wouldn't be? Imagine being a teenager guarding or being guarded by global icons. But once the ball tipped, nerves quickly turned into fire. He described it vividly on New Heights. When I finally got out there, I was like, I'm busting ass. I was nervous being out there with MJ and the rest of those guys, but I was like, oh, I'm about to go crazy. And I did. He wasn't exaggerating. Eyewitnesses say LeBron was simply unguardable. He posted up pros, drove to the rim with authority, dished out no-look passes, and knocked down jumpers with confidence. Ron Artest, who would later win Defensive Player of the Year in 2004, couldn't stop him. Artest later admitted on Paul George's podcast, Pardon My Take, LeBron was cooking. He was posting, getting the basket, and I was like, this is going to be a huge issue. Artest even believed LeBron could have gone pro at 16. That's staggering praise from a guy known for shutting down the league's very best scorers. Jordan didn't hold back either. Reports suggest MJ was trash-talking constantly, trying to test the kid's mental toughness. But LeBron didn't flinch. He held his own. He reportedly scored on Jordan multiple times. Drives, post-ups, and maybe even a jumper or two that grainy photos from that day, which surfaced years later, show LeBron in a white jersey and Jordan in blue, locked in battle. No video exists. Cameras were banned.